This video is for those of you who can only release when you feel like a worthless toy, used, amused by, dismissed, or discarded by the woman you serve. Today, we're talking about erotic humiliation. I'll be honest, up until recently, I didn't understand the humiliation kink. My first impression was that it didn't benefit me. Putting you down doesn't build me up. And I don't like loser subs. That's not my ministry. I expect my submissives to be intelligent, well groomed, high value men. Men with discipline. Men with taste. Men who actually respect the women they serve. And I've always had a distaste for men who think that simply submitting to a woman is humiliating. That goes against everything I believe in. I honor men who kneel. So why would I humiliate you for that? I am a dom who practices both lifestyle domination from my personal beliefs and values and professional domination, the kink specific fantasy space. From a lifestyle perspective, submission to a powerful woman is not embarrassing, it's sacred. So I struggled to understand why subs wanted me to humiliate them for choosing correctly. But professionally, I had to acknowledge this. Experiencing humiliation from a woman is a novelty, a thrill, an emotional roller coaster most men never get to experience in their daily lives, and yet can get off on. That's when I learned what this kink really is. Erotic humiliation is not about self-hatred. It's about controlled psychological intensity. It's a kink centered around power exchange, loss of control, emotional vulnerability, being truly seen, and the thrill of being put in your place intentionally. And for it to be done well, it requires one thing: trust. The deeper the trust, the sharper the words, the more tailored the scenes, the more devastating and intoxicating the humiliation becomes. Just like impact play requires consent and technique, psychological play requires negotiation, safety, and connection. This is why having a consistent dom matters. It's hard to humiliate someone you don't know, and you can't satisfy a humiliation kink without understanding what cuts, what arouses, and what electrifies. But isn't humiliation unethical? This is the biggest debate around this kink. People, especially vanilla people, think it's inherently abusive, or that wanting humiliation means someone is broken, insecure, or mentally ill. That is largely untrue. In reality, erotic humiliation is one of the most consensual, negotiated kink dynamics. To determine if it's healthy for you, ask yourself, is there clear, enthusiastic consent between you and your dom? Does it genuinely arouse you? Does it take you somewhere psychologically that nothing else does? And do you feel satisfied and grounded afterward? If the answer is yes, then your fantasies are yours. They don't need to be understood by anyone but you. People often say that I'm skilled at degradation. So let me clarify the language. Humiliation is playing with embarrassment, loss of control, or exposure. For example, you exist for my amusement. Degradation is lowering a sub's status or value in relation to me. You only matter when you're useful. In degradation, there's room for success. You can be a good tool, a cherished toy. It can still be win-win. Then there's objectification, and that's treating a sub like an object, furniture, or tool. For example, you're a footrest, a chair, a thing that exists for my comfort. That's one of my favorite forms of humiliation. Using a man as furniture, placing my feet on him, sitting on him while reading. It allows powerful, analytical, high responsibility men to finally stop thinking and simply be what I tell them to be. Then there's dehumanization, which is removing human identity in service of role play. So this could look like pet play, slave training, creature training, also another favorite of mine. It's a psychological stripping down, but consensual, erotic, chosen. So for me to genuinely engage in humiliation, I had to understand the difference between shame and erotic humiliation. Princess Kali, I believe I'm pronouncing her name right, defines it perfectly. Non-erotic shame leaves you feeling less than. Erotic humiliation is meant to build you up, leaving you satisfied and ultimately more empowered than when you started. And that's exactly how I choose to dominate. I don't want loser subs. I want the creme de la creme. Men other men aspire to be. Men whose submission has value. But that doesn't mean I won't remind you every now and then that without me, you'd only ever be a loser. And for many of you, that's exactly what you crave. If you watch this entire video, it's safe to say something about this kink speaks to you. Maybe you crave humiliation because it arouses you, it gives you structure, it puts you in your place. Maybe it strips away your ego. Maybe it lets you feel seen in a way daily life doesn't allow. Or it gives you permission to stop performing and simply obey. Humiliation kinks are deeply personal. So, tell me, when did you first feel drawn to humiliation? And what exactly do you find humiliating? You can share it in the comments, or you can DM me on Loyal Fans for a personalized response tailored to your specific fantasies and limits. The link is in my Discord server. See you in the next video.